Yes. Thou art my light. A glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor. In life, as in death. This is holy ground, Outlander. You do not belong here.
You. Good to see you.
What?
Huh?
This is holy ground, Outlander. You do not belong here.
Yes. Yes. This just doesn't make any sense. Why can't it ever be easy?
Now, if it isn't the prodigy, well... Yes, I know. She's already told me everything. Good work, even though part of her report seemed to be a bit... enthusiastic. But I'll leave the judgment to Aranthiel. He wants to talk to you anyway. Seems you've caught his interest. Didn't I tell you that already? He's the highly esteemed, holy Grand Master of the Order. Tilor Aranthiel, son of Lorius I, praised be his name. An old legend, risen from the dead, or something like that. In the Emporium, the last building on the left side of the temple. Just tell the guard that Aranthiel has asked for you, and they will let you in. Ah yes, before I forget. My dame Lucy has left a token of gratitude for you. It's your choice. Do you want a book, an old map, or a bag of pennies? Very well. Now get a move on. I'm sure we'll talk again later.
You. Good to see you.
Outlander, what are you doing in this part of the city? Shouldn't you be, I don't know, somewhere else?
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here.
It is a suspicion, Tila. And to send an entire division across the sea because of a suspicion is madness.
We need to find out who sent the mercenaries. This Pegast said that they were after the Signet Stone, and if they succeed in getting hold of it next time, then the Black Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
The cycle. Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Neremese friends had.
The threat is real. Deny it as much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Tila, you're a commander, and a commander doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Tilor, back then in Kira, and we all know...
The mission will happen. I'm sorry.
You have a visitor.
So, you are the prodigy everyone is talking about. Interesting. I am Tealor Aranthiel, son of Lorius I and Grandmaster of the Order, and I'm honored to meet you. What is your name? Yes, and I will come straight to the point. You are here because I believe that you are special. Humanity faces a threat that needs to be stopped, and to achieve this, you are indispensable. Among other things, yes. I do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars, the living dead, common people who are losing their minds, to name only the most obvious. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. You, however, have encountered it, as have I. I do, and I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are, and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already know who I am. My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death is my son, Narazul Aranthiel. He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom, so he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Narazul won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nerim. I still do not know why he spared me. Good question. Because at the moment stability is the highest good, even more so considering what we are facing. The rulers of Kira and Kile both made the mistake to acknowledge the death of the gods to their people, and the civil wars that followed in their countries are evidence of the chaos that such a revelation entails. Enderal is the cradle of the Order of the Gods, the epitome of theocracy. It is unthinkable what would happen if we confirmed these rumors. I am sure you understand this. Maybe when all this is over that will change, but for now it is imperative that we deny all rumors of that kind. There were circumstances favoring the development, but it's a long story which we won't discuss now. Yes, after more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape in the northern mountains of Nerim, I also had them for the first time, the dreams. I always saw the same glaring, terrible light. Heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, like a veil, there was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me. Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead, an old monastery in the mountains. The others were aware of my identity, but for whatever reason they did not kill me. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. I do not know. Still, even after my recovery, the dreams continued. At first, I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth. The dreams, they come from the same place. They are a shared memory. The collective subconscious, yes. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images. So we went looking for answers in the remains of the civilization that was before us, the Pyreans. Three things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace. And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end. Not identical, but one can split them up into episodes which repeat themselves in the very same manner, into patterns. Yes, dramatically put, they're the envoys of the end. Yes, it does. At first we considered it absurd, as probably you do at this moment. But there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vind was split up by the Starfall after the reign of the Eterna. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The two castes of the Sun Priest. They too ruled until they were overthrown. This overthrowing was followed by an outbreak of wars and chaos. And then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They called this event the Cleansing. They tried, but they failed. Who knows why? Maybe they found out too late, or maybe they were too weak. That is the question we need to find an answer to. The end was not violent, at least not in a sense as we know it. There was no natural disaster, no magical explosion, no plague. Even though there was war in the Pyrean Empire before its ruin, when the cleansing happened, it was as if all living beings simply fell down and died. It is ghastly. Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well. Yes, the Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them, as are you. While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the prophet. It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly. Yes. Former enemies or not, both sides have understood the magnitude of the threat. The magical knowledge of Narazul's former mages is vast, as is the power of the Holy Order. Even though not all of the Keepers agree, as you probably have already noted yourself. I do not know. Firespark the Mage has told me your story, and even though your fate is tragic, unlike me, you were insignificant before your change. So maybe everyone can become an emissary, or we simply have not understood the pattern yet. No, as I already said, the emissaries simply appear at the beginning of the end, like pieces on a chessboard. We are determined by our skills. How and to what end we use them is our choice. On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed. I assume you have already realized this. On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future. Your visions are a window into the past. And as every cycle is based on the same events, it is a window into the future as well. You can feel the thread this world is woven with. And because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help. That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait and die? Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our order, and to do so, you have to pass a test, a trial. It is. Whatever you think about our story, we are the only faction that is strong enough to oppose the cycle. If you want to be part of our mission, you need to have access to our knowledge and resources. There will be voices in the Order speaking against your admission, as they are speaking against the presence of the Neremese mages. Consider it an honor or a necessity. It is up to you. It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission, and even though you have not been a novice, I want you to take it too. At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about your arrival. I have only a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both very talented and have been working hard toward the test. But see them for yourself. I had a hunch. Let us leave it at that. At the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you there. Take the one more thing. It might be self-evident, but keep your knowledge about the death of the Lightborn to yourself. I do not believe you can do any real harm, but in the worst case, path-abiding people will consider you a heretic. After the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter. If and how we tell our people about it. But not now, that is for sure. Now, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better.
Swelch to do summons a punch. You just have to live with it.
Walk blessed, friend. Where are you headed? Sure. Where to?
Greetings. Let me think. Ah yes, this young woman who owns the gallery in the South Quarter looked a little distraught when I last saw her. I think business isn't going so well. Maybe you could try to talk to her, see if there's anything you can do.
Walk blessed, my child. How may I help you?
Yes?
My sir?
Hello.
They just don't respect the elders anymore.
Hello.
What? Who are you? You shouldn't be here. This is my property. Borrock's farm? Just go south from here. It's not far. I have to go. Walk blessed.
Same shit, different day.
Wrong time, wrong place!
pointless. Even if you kill the mother shroom, the spores will stay in Hafner's soil. For the next 10 years, at least. Hopefully longer. Menhir. Menhir Harius. But that doesn't matter anymore. No one will remember me a few moons from now. Aye. Well spotted. So, go ahead. Take me in, beat me up, whatever. Hope you feel good about it. Why would I? Let this fucking son of a Vatir starve to death. And his children, too. That's the good thing about the Golden Sickle, you know. As path-abiding and pious as they pretend to be, in the end they only care about the coin. To what end? I bet you've got it all figured out by now, haven't you? The evil Eterna ruined the pious farmer. What did he tell you, huh? Malphas punishes me for me sins? That stunt has always worked well for him, even back then. Hafner, he pretends to be a stupid farmer, but he isn't. Not at all. Yes, I know him. We both grew up at the Farmer's Coast, and it's where we'll die. A little earlier than I thought, but still. That's a nice word for it. I take it you know everything has gone to shit around here over the past 2 years, with all these brigands, the animals, and the living dead. Well, guess what? It's us farmers who feel it the most. And even worse, with every caravan that gets robbed, the craftsmen inside the city put less trust in us small men and prefer to buy from Borek with his well-armed, escorted caravans instead. I'm getting there. You see, Borek undoubtedly saw the situation we were in, and in its infinite benevolence, offered us a deal. The 2 most productive farmers can transport their goods through his caravan for a small fee. Elegonus Brewstrong was one of them, and the other one was, or should have been, me. Aye, he did. And I would have never let him down, for fuck's sakes. I would have shared me place in the caravan with him like friends do. Aye, we would have made no fortune that way, but still. It would have been enough for us and our families to survive on. But no, 50-50 wasn't enough for that scum. So what does that son of a Vatir do? He poisons me cattle. That fucking bastard poisons me cattle. That miserable pissbag didn't even bother to deny it. Sorry, Menhir, that's just how the world works. But of course, that's only what he said to me. To everyone else, he was so sorry for what had happened to me. Drastic. Aye, that's one way to put it. For 6 months now, we haven't sold anything. But, you know, that isn't even the worst part. The worst part is to go begging with me children and me woman knowing it, while Hafner lives on like just before. The god responsible for the Farmer's Coast is made up of a half a dozen simpletons, all of whom Hafner knows far too well for them to believe me. It would have been pointless. It took me a long time to do this, and it has cost me. But still, it was worth it. Just to see that fucking smile wiped off his face. The spores. I'm no arcanist, but they've taken their toll on me too. And me sight has gotten worse, and I've had these headaches for weeks now. But still, that's a small price to pay for justice. If you're really stupid enough to believe that, go ahead. I don't give a shit. There's only one way to end this. Oh, believe me, I've had that thought too. Forgive the sinners as you forgive your children, verse 105. The bad thing about this priest talk, it doesn't work like that in real life. It just doesn't. But no point in crying over spilled milk, is there? I've done what I've done. You've made your judgment. Good luck with that. But... all right, I'll come with you. If not for you, then for me children. Back there, there's a trapdoor. It will lead us outside. Go if you're ready. I'll follow.
But that's a lie. Mynheer, what's gotten into you? I thought we were friends.
Lie or not, I don't see what that changes about the situation you're in. Hafner, you won't be able to deliver anytime soon. Our cooperation is over.
But... no, this is not fair. How can you say the sickle respects the righteous path and at the same time let me fall victim to this intrigue? What about me kids? Me wife? What am I supposed to tell them?
You fucking liar!
Put that away, now!
You're a disgrace.
What in Malthus's name has gotten into you, Mynheer? I just don't understand.
These farmers are your employees, Contour Master. What do you want me to do? Decide or I'll take in both of them.
What? But...
shut up!
As I said, you won't be able to deliver anytime soon, Hafner. We'll have to look for another supplier. Urias, you said your cows are all dead?
Aye.
The sickle will provide you with a loan. 500 pennies. Go see Landlord Boric with the money. He will sell you new cattle.
What?
We will expect your first delivery 2 moons from now. You will sell it to us at half price for the next 3 years. After that, we will see. My Dane, take Hafner into custody and see what there is to Urias' story. The sickle will cover your expenses for this.
Understood. And Urias? If he really did poison Hafner's field, he should face the tribunal for that.
Well, that's for you to decide. But we don't yet know what drove Urias to do it. But everybody knows what the spores can do to your sanity. Plus, if Hafner really did poison his cows, the tribunal might consider a mild sentence. For now, just take Hafner.
All right. Harius, you will hear from us. Hafner, come with me.
But you can't do this. I have a family.
Do I have to force you?
It won't end like this, Mynheer. I swear it.
Actually, it will.
Why have you done this?
Don't ask. And don't think this is over. You will face consequences for what you've done. But still, if your story turns out to be true, I'm sure the sentence will be mild. Now go back to your farm. You will hear from us about the loan.
Aye. Thank you, my sir. I will not forget what you've done.
One word. Why? I applaud your heroism. But you were paid to find the cause of the barrenness and report back to me, not to play Lorem Waterblade. If you really plan on advancing in the sickle, you should leave your ideals elsewhere. This is business, nothing more. You'll get half your normal pay. You may think that, yes. But until the deal with Hurius bears fruit, it will cost us dearly. Plus, until he's able to deliver, we will have to buy from landlord Boric again, and he charges twice as much as the small farmers do. We lost, full scale. Well, what do you think would happen if this story got around? There are two poor farmers who have lost everything, and the sickle just drops them like a foul apple, We cannot afford to lose face like that, especially not with a guildmaster like Daloran, who thinks himself the most pious Enderalayan since Selna and Keteron. But it is what it is. Here, take your money. And try to leave your goodwill elsewhere next time. There's no place for it in our trade, unfortunately. Well, let's talk back at the trading post.
I just don't see the fucking point.
What do you want? On my mind. Yes, I guess you could say that. It's also the reason for this notice here. Well, how should I put it? A mercenary, I suppose. Somebody who gets around a lot. Before we take this conversation any further, I hardly have any money left. So if you decide to help me, know that no riches await you. Fine. My daughter, Bea, she's sick. It happened about a moon ago. Fever, nausea, pain in all her limbs. Well, that's the thing. Old Marlin, the apothecary who took care of us farm folk, got mauled by a bear last year. He didn't make it. You can't imagine how bad it was. I tried everything, but nothing helped. Bea only got worse and worse. And who would have cared for Bea in the meantime? No, I couldn't leave her alone like that. Not for that long. Still sick. But you see, 2 weeks ago I met a traveler in the Red Ox. an apothecary. He didn't wear the yellow robes, but he undoubtedly knew his craft. I told him about Bea, and he offered to examine her, for free. Yes, Bea has belly worms. Yes, a rare illness from Kira. She must have gotten it from one of the coalmen in the city, where she sells our harvest every week. The apothecary said that Enderalian remedies wouldn't help, but that he knew a recipe because he had studied in Kira himself. Well, that's the thing. The ingredients are unusual, and I don't have the slightest idea where to get them. Here, take a look. Exactly. Look, my sir, I know times are tough, but if you can find the ingredients and brew this potion for me, I'd be eternally grateful. And of course, I'd pay you. Not much, but what I can afford. Really? I appreciate that. Malphus himself must have sent you. If you're a traveler, you surely have a map with you, don't you? Let me see. Here, this is my farm. Just go there once you have the elixir brewed. I'll be waiting. And again, thank you.
What do you want? Just spit it out.
Walk blessed, my child. How may I help you?
Tough times.
Well, that's just how he is. Always talking. For one, it also tells us the virtue of the path. You are welcome, child. Walk blessed.
Huh? What do you want?
Yes, of course you'd say that.
Walk blessed, my child. How may I help you?
Ho, ho there. How are you holding up, pal? Long time no see.
Hey! Hanging in there, I guess. And you?
I'm fine. The whole thing with the ships hasn't been too good for business. But
Wild mages in the temple?
What, you mean that there are hardly any trade
is
ships
as
anymore?
unusual as his reputation suggests, it seems.
Aye, and I can't blame them. That sailor from Orazio told me that last month alone, 5 trade ships had gone missing. Bloody wars.
Stew! Roast pork!
Yeah, I feel you, but what can you do?
Malphas's blessings.
Let's just thank Malphas. Enderal has been
A
spared
little bit
so
of this
far.
and that. Why not take a look?
In any case, my prayers are with you. Take care and say hello to the girls for me, alright?
Come back anytime.
Will do. Walk blessed, pal.
What? What do you want? Just spit it out.
Evening.
They just sit